Welcome to the Growth Mindset with Mike and Keisha, the podcast where we unlock the secrets of entrepreneurial success. We're your hosts, Mike and Keisha. We're business entrepreneurs and influencers, passionate about sharing the wisdom of rising stars in the business world. Every week, we bring you candid conversations with successful entrepreneurs who have cracked the code to business growth. From innovative strategies to mindset shifts that propel them forward, we cover it all so you can apply these lessons to your own journey. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale your business, this is the podcast for you. So get ready, take notes, and be inspired. Let's dive into today's episode of Growth Mindset with Mike and Keisha.
Hello! Hey, how you guys doing? What's up? Welcome to the Growth Mindset with Mike and Keisha.
Today, we are thrilled to have an extraordinary guest who epitomizes the essence of holistic well-being and transformative health. Meet Ms. Dawn Wells, the visionary behind DWF Wellness. She's based in Covington, Georgia, or should I say GA. DWF Wellness is revolutionizing health management with its holistic approach and innovative programs.
Dawn offers essential guidance on overall wellness and treating chronic conditions, focusing on the proven blood-based nutrition, medical fitness, and overall wellness with the 3S method. That's science plus spirit equals success. By focusing on targeted blood-based nutrition, medical fitness, and mental health strategies, her wellness system helps treat the root causes and enhance overall well-being. Welcome, Dawn.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
We are honored to have you as our guest today, Dawn.
We appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to dive right on in.
All right.
And ask my first question to you.
Okay,
Dawn.
sure.
I want to know a little bit about your journey, and I want to know how it started, what inspired you to start this business, and tell us a little bit about it, all in one breath.
It was a fluke.
Wow.
I had no intentions of starting a business 8 years ago or 10 years ago, actually. But I was at that time I was teaching Zumba, and had relocated to Covington from I was corporate America, doing classes all around corporate America. And I bought about a house in Covington, and it's like, I don't want to make those trips, but I wanted to continue to teach. And so I was looking for a space to rent, started with that, and then came to realize that I could actually rent a space for the same price that I was paying. I could actually rent my own facility for the same price that I was just renting out an event hall twice a week, and make this a thing. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My daddy happened to come into town, and he was just like, "You're renting? What is that?" So, that's such as I was like, well, I am not trying to make this a permanent thing. I was corporate America, and 6 figures, all happy and everything. And he said,
What did you do in corporate America?
yeah, so I was actually into IT recruitment. And
Wow.
yes, information systems. My first degree was in telecommunications
Okay.
management, and then I went back to school for information
Oh,
systems.
she's technical, y'all. She's technical.
Yeah.
Okay, I love
So this has
it.
nothing to do. Then I realized I only like doing that for fun, and I then went into recruitment. And so that's what I did for 17 years. And then I got the space. And so I'm not a halfway do things
It's
person.
okay.
If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do something
Awesome.
halfway. I'm going to do it full. And so I said, okay, let's go. And hence, initially it was Dawn Wells Fitness was born.
Okay. That's right. This 8 years ago.
Now, well, yeah, 9 years now. Yeah.
9
9
years.
years
Okay.
ago.
Cool.
Yes. But like I said, I had been teaching classes for 4 years at that time already.
I see.
Yeah. So
And
that's
So
what
you are,
I
happened.
see you
Yeah,
do the medical fitness. You're a medical fitness practitioner. So can you
correct.
tell us a little bit about what that means and how
Yes.
that works for people?
Yes. And so from the business, of course, I love teaching classes, but I also love to help people. And I realized that more people needed more than just classes. And I taught like maybe 6 or 7 different types of programs, but it wasn't enough. So I went back and got more education and went into learning about personal training first. And then nutrition moved into the nutrition space because they go hand in hand. Well, while I was doing this, I always eat be subscribed to eating according to my blood type. And so then from after I went back for my nutritionist certification and credentialing, I decided I was going to implement that into my nutrition plan. So I didn't realize at the time I was actually doing medical fitness, or I was actually doing a portion of medical fitness, if you will. And so when COVID hit, I used that time to invest in myself, and I just sought out as much as I could for education, and went back to school, and then was introduced to David Rochelle III, who is the founder of Healthy Fit and also the founder for the medical fitness credentialing. And under David's program, he normally you would have to have a master's degree in some sort of physical fitness type of regimen. But all of the education I had acquired allowed me to sit before the board and be accepted into the medical fitness program.
Wow.
Had
cool.
enough education.
What were some of the credentials that a person normally would have to have
Yeah,
education
like a
wise?
master's in physical fitness. Yes. Yeah, a
Physical
master's degree.
fitness.
Yes,
Okay.
a master's in physical fitness or physical education, something along those lines. But like I said, I had enough education behind me that I was accepted into the program, and then hence moved into the healthcare space. If I can answer Keisha's questions really quickly, what is medical fitness? So, as a medical fitness practitioner, I am medically trained to treat persons that have chronic conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, COPD, cancer, a chronic condition with fitness, utilizing fitness and nutrition. And so basically, we are essentially using fitness and nutrition as a medicine, which is what it is anyway. And so, yes, that is what I do. And our services are we are a healthcare provider, so our services are billable to insurance. And so that's what I do.
So people, y'all can't sit here and say you can't afford it. Bill your
Right.
insurance.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna
You
leave it
did
there.
mention that you're one of the few people in the country that do this. Is that right?
I am. There are only 6 medical fitness practitioners that are able to bill to insurance, and only one of us is actually practicing, and that's me.
Oh,
In
wow.
fact, DWF Wellness is
Congratulations.
now the model, the business model for medical fitness. And we're partnering with Healthy Fit on that endeavor. Yes.
Awesome.
That is great. I'm
That sounds
I'm
phenomenal.
like amazed about like how far you came and like where you came from. And then you talked about the blood type. Can you I think I have a couple of questions in this one. Number one, there might be people who want to know, how do I even find out my blood type? Like, and then number two, how do you correlate the health with your blood type? Can you tell us a little bit more about
Excellent.
this?
It is so excellent. Okay. Um, I'm going to answer that. Let me first answer for the first part. Okay, so there's 4 ways for you to find out, basically, for you to find out, well, really 5 ways for you to find out your blood type. One, you can ask your parents. They
Okay.
may know, they may or may not know. Number two, you can go to the American Red Cross and actually donate blood, and they will do free blood testing.
Interesting.
3, you could ask your physician, but I can tell you 9 times out of 10, if you've never had like surgery, they're not going to know it because they're not treating you for the health of your blood. They're really treating you to find out what's wrong with your body, what's going on with your blood, right? But blood is the conduit for everything, right?
Yes. It,
Everything is determined by your blood. All right. And then the fourth way is you could actually order a home test kit. Those are not as reliable. So if you do a home test kit, make sure that it is FDA approved, or USDA approved, to make sure that it's an actual valid. And if you don't do it right, then you're not going to get the right results. So
I'm not
that's
going to have
not
the
the
right
best way.
results.
And then I guess the fifth way would be come see me if you're
I
in
know
Yeah, I
Georgia.
did
that should be
notice
number
when
uno.
you
That should
are
be numero
offering,
uno right there.
Well,
Numero
you know,
uno. Let's just go and
offering
see
this is a
Dawn.
nationally broadcast podcast, so everybody can get to me. So I wanted
That
to
is
that's
great
offer.
right.
information,
It's more
Dawn.
important that they get it done as opposed to coming to me directly, right? I just want
Yes.
people to get well. Now, to answer to your question about blood and how is that correlate to your health, we just said that. Think about it. Everything that goes on in your blood, right, is has to do with your health. And it's no stranger to nutrition. Back in the day, people took roots off of trees to heal themselves, right? And so that hasn't changed. It's just that how the food is processed has changed. But there's still, food is meant to be a source, a tool. It is not meant to be just a social item, like, or something that
Like
we
we
do.
do
People
these days
like,
now.
or like we do, right? It is actually meant to have purpose. Is to provide you with strength, is to provide you with energy, and several other things. And so that is how. So when you're thinking about your blood type, right, it actually has to do with, we all need macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. All right. Just like a fish to water. This is a Dawnism 101. All right. This is something I made up. God actually gave me this analogy that for people that couldn't comprehend it. So when you think about a fish and water, right? Fish all need bodies of water. There's freshwater fish, saltwater fish, and they both need bodies of water. All blood types need all three macronutrients, right? But if you put a saltwater fish in a freshwater environment and vice versa, they will not survive. They may live for a short time, but they're not going to thrive, and they're essentially may end up not surviving, right? And so think about that, but it doesn't mean they both don't need bodies of water. So take out the fish or the salt water, the water type, and put in your blood, right? The protein that you get, I'll use an A and an O because those are polar opposites. We all need protein, but an O blood type thrives on a meat based diet, getting their protein from meat, whereas an A thrives on getting their protein from plant based. Okay. And so it does. I mean, it's a Donism 101, because doesn't it just make sense that where you put the fish in the right kind of water, you put the blood with the right kind of foods,
It makes a
right?
lot of
For
sense.
you
So
to
basically, a
thrive. But
person who's A, if they're supposed to be eating plants, but then they're sitting here eating mostly protein, then
well, it's
that's
still
probably what's going to
protein. It is still it's just you're getting your protein from a plant
from
source,
different
right?
sources.
From a
okay.
plant-based source. So like it could be
Like a vegan,
soy.
maybe like
Yes,
tofu or
yes,
something like
tofu is
that.
soy. Yes,
Oh,
I don't recommend soy, but yes, soy, they might get it from something like that. Spirulina. There's other ways to get that protein, but they thrive, and fish. They could also get their protein from fish as well. And so,
But one of the
yes,
things,
go ahead, Michael.
one of the things I was so surprised about is to look at the different blood types and the types of foods that one needs to eat based upon those blood types. And there was very few of them. There's only one, I think, with that was totally vegan. And the general consensus most people have today is that the best way to eat is to be all plant based.
So it has nothing to do with that. People say that, right? But there's a lot of different theories behind it, just like they feel like there's theories behind blood-based eating. However, it is not. It is science-based. And there's a lot of Dr. Peter Diamo actually has done he had first his father, then he has done decades of research on eating according to your blood type. And it has to do with the lectins that are in certain foods, and more specifically, meat and dairy. All right. These are something we cannot produce with our own body, but we need them because lectin is like super glue. It causes your blood to agglutinate, or basically clump. Okay. If you don't clump, you could bleed out. So we need some clumping, but excessive clumping will cause inflammation, which then creates the cause of most chronic conditions.
Like
And
heart
so
attacks and strokes, and et cetera.
exactly. So when physicians see you, they're treating you for the symptoms of your chronic conditions. Fitness and nutrition as medicine treats the root cause. You
Yes.
understand the difference here,
I
right?
got you. Yeah,
You
Yes,
absolutely.
understand the
yes.
difference here, right? So
It's
would
huge.
you rather treat the symptoms, or would
Yeah.
you rather
I'd rather
create the
The
take
root
root cause.
cause?
cause, yeah.
Now, Don, why is it that more medicine is not treating root causes instead of treating the
Michael,
the
really?
symptoms?
You
Let's
re,
ask the
re,
pharmaceutical company
I
then.
Thank
mean,
you. Yeah,
I want
look,
you to just
look, you gonna put me
to
out there
state the
like that so
obvious,
they can come
basically.
knock on my door and blow
Look,
up my
I'm not,
house.
I don't care. I'll say it.
I'll say
Let's
it.
ask
It's big business.
them.
There's big money in
It's all about
conventional
the
health.
money.
Right. It's about money because
It's a
honestly,
shame.
it's not just the money, but people are only concerned with the symptoms. Let's be real. Let's be clear.
They don't want
Mm.
to go through the
No.
whole
The
steps
first
to
thing your
actually
physician
fix the
tells you,
problem.
there you go. The first thing your physician tells you to do is change your eating habits
They're
and the
like, hey, just give me the
exercise.
pills.
And exercise, but they give,
Like, just give me
and
the
I'm not
pills.
saying there's not a place for medication. I'm not saying that, because in some cases you need that medications to get you at a regulatory level, right, to get you to a homeostasis state.
But
However, it
Dawn,
should be
can
a
I
mean
say
to an
this
end.
though?
Mm.
Can I say this though? Like, if you take the preventive steps prior, you won't even need to get to that point to have to take medicine,
Yeah, but
right?
that's a fact, Keisha. But 70% of all U.S. Americans have one chronic condition. 50% have two or more, and that is
Or more.
according to the CDC. Okay, so to that point, yes, but preventative takes work. And a
It
lot
does.
of
Yeah.
times we are not educated in this country on what we're doing. Sometimes, I mean, in a lot of cases, we don't even know the damage or how severe the damage is. And when we get medications, some of us think that we are healing. Oh, I'm good. I get people telling me all the
Right.
time, "Oh yeah, I had high blood pressure, but I'm on medication." Baby, you still got it.
That medication
That's
has
the
Just
side
because
effects
you're
and
placebo.
other things.
That's the
and
placebo effect right there.
yes, and just because you're on the medication and your numbers are at a normal state, your blood pressure is now regulated. It's only regulated because of the
Because you're
drug.
taking them, yeah,
But if you would treat the root cause, which
you
is
won't
the
need it.
inflammation, and then doing some
You'll be
exercise,
healthier
and
and
it
live
has to be
longer.
the appropriate exercise, because when you're thinking about exercising, a lot of programs are not even appropriate for certain chronic conditions, and could be worsening the chronic condition. And that's why you need people like me to do this. A personal trainer, I'm a personal trainer as well, but we are not qualified to treat you with fitness and nutrition. We do not know chronic conditions, and we cannot just look them up, because you're not taking into account the medication that a person is taking. So you can research the chronic condition, and yeah, chat gpt may tell you do x, y, and z, but it's not going to tell you what the medications that person is taking. The personal trainers are not going to even ask you for medication, because they're not trained in it. Why would they? You don't go to a physician and he asks to see your food log. No, you go to a nutrition for that. And I, on the other hand, am not prescribing medications. So that's the thing. So, I know I'm really passionate about it, you guys, and I'm sorry to be so long winded, but it's
No,
serious
they're
business.
fine.
We've got to do better, because long term medications, and this is not a if, they will cause additional conditions within your body. And they're not going to be chronic. Chronic meaning you can live with them long term. They're going to be acute, which means they will kill you.
It's
Well,
funny
there's a
because
lot
for
of
every commercial we see when you're taking a medicine, like you might have something for a headache, and then it says this might also cause diarrhea, vomiting,
Disclaimers,
nausea,
right?
this,
Your
that,
arm limbs to
blah, blah.
fall off,
It's
amputees,
like,
right?
so in order to
Permanent
fix
disability.
one thing, you're now going to have to deal with about 10 more things on top of
Exactly.
it.
And
So
ironically, we
And
just
possible
listen to it
death.
and we ignore it pretty
and
much, right?
but because you know why, Michael, in the commercials now, you see people frolicking and they're happy, they're
Yeah,
with their families, and
they
you're
have you
so
focused on
engrossed,
the
we're
happy
visual.
thoughts.
So
Yeah,
we're so
right,
engrossed in the
right.
person being happy, we're not even listening to them spewing the 20,000 additional ailments that is it could cause. And on top of that, it goes so fast you can't
I was
catch
It
just
it.
goes
about
so
to say
fast.
that. They say it
Yeah.
so fast. May cause vomit, diarrhea, nausea.
It's like
It's
the
go-
wah 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 wah. Charlie Brown. I'm dating
Exactly.
myself now,
No one is
but
listening to that stuff.
y'all. And so that's, I mean, it's all done by design, And so, like I said, there is a place for medicine sometimes, but a lot of times, especially when you're like pre-diabetic or you've just now been diagnosed with high blood pressure, you don't need to take medication. You need to get up and move and then manage what you're eating. Doesn't mean you can't have the foods that are less healthy sometimes, pizza and fries and chips. You can have that stuff sometimes, but it can't be 80%. It can't be 90%. You've got to make it your 20 or your 10 or your, no
And
more
I'm
than
a true
30%.
testament of that too, because like I was overweight, and that's why I'm in health and wellness too, because I was overweight at one time, and at the time I had high blood pressure, and I had high cholesterol, and I knew what it was. I mean, I knew I was overweight. I knew I wasn't eating the right things, and I was inactive. So I changed my life, and I ended up becoming like almost a fitness aholic, if that's even, just made my own little thing right there. But yeah, working out 4 to 5 times out of the week, and changing my diet, limiting my sodium and my sugar, of course, and doing a lot of the different things where I didn't even have to take blood pressure medicine anymore or have to worry about high cholesterol. So
Exactly.
it really is what we're doing to ourselves. If we can change the basics and really just change it, like really do it, you would be surprised off of like what you can accomplish.
And I'll tell you, and again, is ignorance is big business, and so issue is people just don't know. They just don't know, and a lot of times it's too late. I work with under my nonprofit. We do group fitness and nutrition for the blind and low vision across the country, and then diabetes and stroke are the top two causes of adult blindness, and unfortunately we don't learn about these things until it's like we just don't think that it's doing damage, and it's not about just weight, it's about fat. In fact, it's not about weight, it's about the fat in your body, because there is a such thing called skinny fat,
It
right?
sure is. A lot of
And
people be like, "Oh,
so
I don't need to work out, or I don't need to do this or that.
exactly.
I
I
don't
don't
look at
need to. I'm
me."
thin. I've always been thin my whole life. And that doesn't mean you're healthy. And so it's really understanding that fat in your body and getting that fat down, getting that inflammation out, and then building that muscle. And then you don't do one at a time. You don't start to, oh, I'm gonna first lose the weight and then I'm gonna start to build muscle. That's backwards. You need to
Right.
do it all at one time. All right. So
Well, I'll
I've
say
spoke.
this, Don.
Go ahead.
I enjoyed your book. I read the whole thing in one
Did
setting,
you? Did you?
and
It's a quick
yes, I
read.
did. I
It's a
wanted
quick
to be
read.
prepared for this
Yeah, he said that too. He's like,
session,
"It's a quick read."
but I will say I learned a lot, and I feel like I haven't been doing the right thing. I'm a pescatarian. I
Okay.
changed my diet. I have high blood pressure. I have I'm a pre-diabetic. So my doctor told me to watch, these things, and really didn't explain a whole much more than that. So I'm
You
thinking I
want to know
probably need to
why?
go to why?
Because physicians only have one nutrition class their entire educational career.
Oh, really?
Well, they're not
Interesting.
you're not
They're not
nutritionists.
nutritionists. Yeah. Well,
Mm-mm.
they should have some background. I
They
mean,
should,
Well,
to
right?
that's
help
what they
their
could
patients.
refer. right? They will refer
Exactly.
but
you
they
to
They'll
do
refer
somebody who
refer.
you, right.
specializes
And then
Yeah,
even
in
with a
that.
basic nutritionist, and nutritionists are exceptional, dietitians are exceptional. We all have our place. But when you want to think about healing, okay, you have to think more along the scope of what the food is doing to your body, what kinds of food do what. And there's a lot of debate, you guys. I don't mind putting it out there that people are saying, oh, blood type eating is a theory and there's no true proven science behind it, and then they'll throw out different things that to dispel it. But here's the thing: if you're going to dispel it, you must compare it on the right, you must do the exact same testing to be able to say that it's not efficient and it's not effective and it's not proven. If you are only testing this scope of it and not the full realm, then you cannot say that it's not credible. And Dr. Diamo, he actually proves that and talks about that on his website. He calls them out because they call him out, but there's science behind
yeah.
this.
But I'll say this: I think that there must be something to this because I feel like I do a lot of the right things, like eating properly, and I
Pescatarian and
take
all of that.
medication,
Yeah.
and I'm still having difficulty controlling it. And maybe it's because of the blood type, the foods I'm eating, as far as what, the blood type that I
And it could
have.
also be the exercising program as well. Medical fitness is actually geared towards chronic conditions, and we have different types of medical fitness programs. There's different programs that we do with under medical fitness, depending upon that chronic condition. So, you don't treat someone that has an autoimmune chronic condition the same way that you would treat somebody that's diabetic. It's just two different ways of types of fitness regimens that are best for each setting. So I just want to put that out there. But Michael, I'm here, and you
Yes,
He
let
was
me
actually
know
talking about that. He was saying
that's
that he
exactly
I am
wanted
that's
to
here,
exactly what I
and
was thinking.
utilize
I was like,
you.
wow, this is so
I am
perfect.
here,
I
and
need to be going to you and taking
I mean,
advantage
this
of
is
your
the
services.
blessing of having so
It is a
many,
blessing.
great friends and network of people, and
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs all over because, we're able to reach out to each other.
yes, and you don't have to be local to for me to see you and to be able to help you. I do now have online programs available because I realize right now there is only me, and that's practicing, but more help needs to be given. So I do have online programs and all of that as well, one-to-one coaching, all kinds of stuff. Because honestly, the healing comes in the knowledge that you acquire, which is why I have the 3S method that I created, design. That's not medical fitness. That's actually what I designed and created, and what I use my methodology under my practice.
Can you talk a little bit more about that 3S method? I want to
Sure.
hear.
So the science is just what we just been talking about, the science of your nutrition, the science of your fitness. And it's not rocket science. Okay. So it's not that you have to have a degree to understand it. It's just knowing what specifically is needed for you. Right. And you need to know your science. So Michael knows in my book, I kind of talk about that, the science behind that. And knowing that, because anytime you get, it happens, life happens, and sometimes people may fall off, right? At least once you have that knowledge, you'll know exactly what to do to get back on. So that's the science. Your fitness science is the same. It is, there's proven science, physical fitness that is for specific chronic conditions, okay? And for just persons in general, okay? And it's not the same. It's not a one size fits all for everybody. Number two. So knowing the science for your fitness. That's the science. The spirit is not just mental, all right? Because honestly, this is why obesity is now considered a chronic condition, because it's psychological. Okay, which is why they're now giving these GP1 modifiers, the Ozempics, and all of these things out. They're giving this because they understand that obesity is not just about eating, it first starts here. So you need to be able to understand the spirit of your mental state, being able to meditate and relax and go within yourself to calm yourself down. It's a whole mental. And then also, the spirit would be your financial state, not be able to pay a bill and see how high your blood pressure gets. So there's is a
And it doesn't
science.
help that food is expensive too when you are trying to eat right.
Exactly. Okay. But I've worked with people that have to eat from food pantries, flight attendants, truck drivers. Anybody can be healthy no matter where you get your food from. Okay. Or what you pay for it. Second. So the mental of your financial, understanding that your financial also has a mental state, and knowing how to, that spirit of money. All right, and understanding that. So that's another part that that are included in my methodology. So your science plus your spirit equals your success. Once you understand those elements, you will have success forever, because you will always be able to recreate, and you won't keep repeating the cycle over and over and over again, losing this grain, gaining it, losing and gaining, and trying this and trying that. You won't be a test dummy for, or a crash dummy for yourself. You'll truly understand what you did to get back where you need to be.
Well, Don, you are a amazing person. We know you personally. You're our sister. We are in the
Yes,
coaching program,
yes,
and we are in a accountability
yes,
group,
together.
and we support each other. And you are
Yes,
just an amazing soul,
thank you.
and you are the
Vessel for
head of
God.
our group,
Yes.
and we
She
really
leads the
respect and love
flock.
you.
I am
Yeah.
just the moderator, y'all. We lead each other. That's all. That's all.
You
They
do
trying
an
to give me
amazing
big
job
ups. They're trying
moderating.
to give me big ups, and it ain't all that. I'm just the moderator.
No,
We
we love you.
collaborate,
We
and
love
we
your
embrace each other. You guys, all
support.
of you
Yeah,
guys are
absolutely.
amazing, and equally, I'm honored to be able to be a part of this, and to have you as my accountability partners and in my power circle. So you all, I love you the same. We're all vessels, right? We do what God the Creator has put us on this earth to do, and this is my ministry. So there you are.
Yeah, your energy is amazing. Your spiritual
Cheers
energy.
here.
You give us inspiration. I am so pleased and honored to know you.
I am
But
because you are there, hey, and vice
yeah, no,
versa.
you make us better. We make each other better. That's why we're in this accountability group, right? We all
Yes,
are helping each other
yes,
grow.
yes, we are, and
And
it's
so
an
it is
amazing
amazing. And
experience.
And that's
yeah,
probably
but
like, oh, go ahead, Mike. What were
no,
you
go
going
ahead,
to
go
ask?
ahead.
No, because I was going to say, with that being said, like, people need to understand how important it is to really find like minded people in a community. So, like, speaking of all of this, how important do you think? Well, I think I kind of know the answer now, but how important do you think in a network of people who are like minded in a community and of supporters, or for anybody who was trying to make it in their business?
Being successful. You know.
It's almost one of the most essential, because all of us out here that are business owners, um, you feel like you're on an island a lot of times, and it's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top when you don't have anybody that can relate to what you're doing. Not only for the camaraderie component, but also for the knowledge component. God did not put us on this planet to be individualists. Doesn't mean that we can't be elite, right? And everybody is not elite. I get that, because you have to have different levels of persons to be able to make the world go round. But it's essential to have a network, because you don't know what you don't know.
That's exactly
And
right.
so when we start to go into these kinds of groups, and in this kind of a setting like this wonderful podcast that you guys have put together, the growth mindset in and of itself is powerful, because growth People don't know how to grow sometimes, and then it's a mindset to grow. So this podcast is essential. This is a catalyst for so much. And so there is power in numbers, there is power in networking, and there's knowledge in having that. Period. Like Michael was just trying everything and he said it wasn't working. So he started being pescatarian, right? You guys are giving me a voice for the masses on this podcast. Imagine how many lives are going to be impacted. If I
Well, you
kept
know
to
what our goal
myself,
is?
I wouldn't have this.
I know that's
Our
right.
goal,
I got some gems. So I know
our goal
everybody
is
who's
to
listening
help
is going to have some gems.
a million business owners become successful. So we're going to help them. This podcast is definitely helping us to reach a considerable amount of those
What?
folks. So
No, you're going to get
we're
them
excited
all.
about it.
And you all,
Yeah,
it will not
I
be
think
a
so.
podcast. It's going to be the podcast.
Podcast. Hey,
That's what's up.
okay.
It
I
already
love
Okay.
it.
is.
I
And I
love
can say
that.
I was one of the first. Hey!
One of the first guests. That's
Yes.
right. That's what's
I'm a
up.
first and y'all
Numero
the first.
uno. Love it. I love that. I know
Oh
that's
man,
Yes,
your
right.
I
energy is just
believe that. I believe that.
infectious.
I do. I
You
believe that
have
with
to.
all
That's
my.
where it
I believe
starts.
that for you guys. I believe that for myself. And so to just speak again, you guys, business owners, for everyone that listens to this podcast, do not hide. And another thing that we tend to do, and then more specifically in our communities, we want to keep everything in because we're scared to share, because we think they're going to take something. None of it is ours. None of it is ours. Okay, so everything can be taken, but nothing is taken if you're giving. And it's a whole different experience when you're giving and not somebody just taking it from you. So you might as well stop that nonsense and share.
Yes. Sharing is caring,
You
guys.
can't grow like this. You get when you open.
Sure
One of
is.
the things
That's
that
one of the laws.
you are doing with your business is you're using technology to leverage, you know, what's possible.
Yes, you have
What
to.
technology are you using in your
Oh
business?
my gosh, you name it. So, I mean, there's nothing that can be done. So, like I said, I do have online coaching programs. And so, it is one to many coaching. I also do one to one coaching. It's online, under Angel Eyes alone. Like I said, we do group fitness and nutrition for the blind all over the world. That is via Zoom. Okay, I'm teaching a class in one location and four other locations are going, and people are piping in from all over the world to do that. So technology is essential. Is
Absolutely, it's
essential. I
incredible,
use
right?
AI to help
Yeah,
generate like simple administrative tasks. I use AI almost every day to create like little to make my life easier, to simplify things. So yeah, I hope that answered the questions. I mean, there's
well,
apps, everything. Like we have apps, all of
one
it.
of the things you mentioned the last time we spoke was that you were looking to train other um, medical practitioner,
Medical fitness practitioners, yeah.
medical fitness practitioners to do what you're doing. So you don't want to be the only one out there.
No.
So what you're doing is creating
Well, that
certification
is what
program.
David is doing. David Rochelle the
Oh,
third,
I
under
gotcha.
Health E Fit is
Health
HELTHEFI.
effect.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm spelling it so
cool.
people can, if there's any personal trainers out there or any clinical physiologists, or and you just nurses, any healthcare providers that would like to go into a different space. David actually holds the educational arm of the Healthy Fit, and he has created the credentialing program for the medical fitness practitioner. And he and I are partnering on the business model for that. And so, yes, I don't want to do the education piece. I want him. He's doing that, and I am then, for the folks in my area, would then bring them on to do their practicals under me.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Spreading that love.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
in a sense, so and then, hey, listen, guys, we're in a recession, right? And when you have to rely, the first thing that goes, unfortunately, people look at like fitness as a luxury. It's not something they feel like they absolutely have to have. And a personal trainer is going to be the first one to go. Then you can get a $10 membership at the gym. They may not know how to use it, but at least they can go and walk a treadmill, right? And so being able to bill your services through insurances is critical, and it also it's triple the money. Number one, number two is guaranteed, and number three, you are now making a difference on health, the health of somebody. You actually are tracking your improvement, and not just by weight loss, because that's not a good measure for how successful someone is in a fitness program. It's
What type
actually
of insurance can
all
be billed?
all commercial,
Okay.
Medicare,
Y'all
all.
hear that?
And right now we are in the process. I have a medical director. She has a holistic health practice under TCR Richardson. She is a nurse practitioner. And so she's my medical director, and I partner with her on the billing side of things. But we are being credentialed with all of the major carriers. We are in network with United Healthcare, Medicare, and Cigna. We are in the process of being credentialed with Aetna and Blue Cross Blue Shield as we speak. But if a person has a PPO, I could still work with them. If they're Medicare, it doesn't matter what Part A or Part B they have their insurance under. It doesn't matter which of the carriers. I could still work with them and build their insurance, and they just
That's
need
so
to get a
awesome.
referral from their physician, which I can help them to do.
So what's the future for your business? I know you have one location. How many
Yes,
locations you said you have?
just one little one brick and mortar, and that's the only one I plan to have. The goal is to, well, that's what I say, right? But as things progress, yes, I want to move
I could
more
see
to
you
being.
franchising this thing.
Yes, I know. That's not what I want to do, but if I did, I'm open to it. Always do that. I would just like to get more people trained up so that I want to be able to have them take their practices online like I'm doing. So that's the model that I would help them with, to taking their business online and building their masses, that their coaching programs as medical fitness practitioners or medical fitness coaches, which is what I'm
So
creating
I
now.
have a question about that because you said for the credentialing, it's like a master's in, I think you said personal fitness,
In physical fitness. Uh-huh.
physical fitness.
Hmm.
So, okay, for instance, I have a master's in healthcare administration.
Oh, okay.
So if I decided, hey, I want to see about this program and see how I can utilize it and, be able to help others as well with what I do, um, how could I be able to look into it? Would I be able to get the same lesson that you did?
that
Or would I
that
still
is
have to
I can't
go through a
say.
lot of steps?
You would definitely need to talk to David Rochelle with Healthy Fit, because that's his area. That is totally out of mine. I had to go before the board. I had already had some fitness. I mean, I had enough education to where I had a bachelor's in physical education. In physical fitness. However, I also have a bachelor's degree in the technology. So I had the bachelor's degree. The education I acquired really kind of put me into the master's state. So you could definitely, I mean, I don't know, I can't say for sure, but I would reach
Because
out
I
to.
mean, I know that a lot of people might have that question. They
Yeah,
might say, "Hey, I have a master's as well, and whatever." And this sounds interesting. This sounds like something that I might, love to get into or have credentials in.
exactly.
And they might have this same question.
Reach out to him. Reach out to David Rochelle. It's Rachal, the third. David Rochelle. He's on all of the social medias. The third, Health E Fit. HealthEFit. Reach out to him for sure, Keisha, and find out. I don't know about the administrator part, but reach out, because if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah. Well, tell us about, our viewers how they can reach you.
Okay, yeah. So you could reach me. Everything on me is DWF Delta Water Frank Wellness everywhere. the .com for the website, IG DWF Wellness, TikTok DWF Wellness, LinkedIn DWF Wellness, Facebook DWF Wellness,
Amazon.
email
What's
DWF
the name of
Wellness
the
at
book?
Gmail. And the book is Holistic Health 101. Your only limit is you. And right now, I am promoting the second edition because it has more information about chronic conditions specifically, and medical fitness as it apply, and nutrition as it applies to your chronic conditions. So that one they can get either at my website or by contacting me. It's also it's kind of like everywhere.
Awesome. It's a
Hmm.
great read. I can attest to
It's
that.
an easy read, right? It's very
It
fast
is an easy
because it
read.
don't need to be
It
all
was
that.
pretty quick.
I
Right.
go right to the
But you
point.
also have an Audible, don't you?
Yes, the book is on Audible. The second edition is on Audible, so
That's
you
right. If
could
you don't like
Yeah,
definitely
to
so
get
you
read,
that.
don't have time to read
Nope,
because you can
and
no
listen.
you're on the go,
excuses.
you can
Like
listen to it. Yeah.
yes, on the go, you could do that and go from there. Okay, so if you want to get in touch, you go to DWF Wellness on all of everything. All the socials are DWF Delta Water Frank Wellness, and email would be the DWF Wellness at Gmail. And so you could contact me at there as well. I can give you the phone number if you want. The number to the center is 678-734-9442.
Great. And we're going to also
Awesome.
have some links too that we're going to
Yeah,
have
we'll
on
also
there.
have it on the screen,
Okay.
printed on the screen for you.
Hmm.
Fantastic. So there you
So
are.
people can
Website is
be
the
able to
same,
have
DWF
it.
Wellness. Well, I
Yes.
thank
Awesome.
you guys. So Mike and Keisha, this has been so
We
much
thank you
fun.
too.
I'm
Yay. We thank you
grateful to
too.
have you on. You are
I thank you
awesome.
too,
Thanks for coming.
Dawn. I mean,
And
this
this was a
was
great
some
session.
I hope
information.
I
Like
hope I
I
didn't ramble too much.
No,
oh
you didn't.
no.
No,
Oh
you
my
were
gosh.
phenomenal. I think this was a great interview.
It
Thank you.
I
was. It
I'm so
was.
passionate about what I do, so I could talk forever.
No,
Um,
that's what it's
No,
about. That's what
you
you're
were perfect.
supposed to be doing, right? You have to have that passion.
Exactly.
And when you have that passion, everything else follows. So we
yes.
That's
appreciate
right.
that. And actually, I've been in the healthcare for a very long time. And
Oh,
I was
then
able to get some gems and nuggets just listening to you.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I
each one
appreciate you.
teach one. That's
I
right.
know that's
Each
right.
one
Awesome.
teach
It
one.
was some great stuff here that we
Thank you
got.
so much. Reach
Absolutely.
out to David and about that for you. Seriously.
Hmm.
I think he's going to be having another class starting soon, so you should definitely hit him up.
Now I want to make sure I'm not mistaken. I do want to ask a question real quick. I think Mike, we seen something where you said that people could actually make money too through doing something through the program.
Yes, so they will. Yes, on my ad, I have an ad that's actually running right now, and yes, they can make money by doing this, and it's through the financial piece of what they learn. There is something, and I probably should make that more prevalent in my advertising because I partner with a CPA EA, which is an enrolled agent which basically means she's licensed and certified to fight the IRS, and she does a lot with business businesses as well. And so she is a guru financial guru on investing and things like that. So she gave me gems for my book that I also use in my coaching program, where people can have as little as $5 and invest and make money from those investments. So
Wow.
yes, that's a part of the financial, that mental part, that financial spirit that is also added to the book under the
We would
second
love for
edition.
you to make an introduction for us to have her come on this
Absolutely.
show. That sounds
She
like an
too has
awesome
a podcast. She's based out
show.
of
She
Vegas.
does. Awesome.
She wins bookkeeping. She calls it that for a reason. It's very deceiving. She's not a bookkeeper. She is definitely she's a heavy hitter.
She wins,
This
but
queen
that
is
sounds so
bad.
familiar.
She
I don't know
wins
what.
bookkeeping, so you could look her up. And I
Okay.
will make the introduction. You all
I
definitely want to have
appreciate
her on your
that.
podcast. She is a
She
when
will.
it
Yes,
comes
we
to that
love
money,
that.
whew,
Ooh, let's do it. Let's go.
she's been my
We
CPA
look,
for
that
30
never gets
years.
old. We could talk about
Yes.
that all
That's right,
day.
Yes.
all day.
Yes.
All
So
day.
that is, yeah, that is definitely something that you are able to, because again, if your financial is not situated, right? If you don't have your financial health in state, is financial health is what we have branded it under in the book. But if your financial health is not up to par, you definitely are going to have physical yes, and they're going to
Absolutely.
contribute to your
It's
chronic
gonna
conditions,
depression and all of that.
depression, sleep
Associated
apnea,
with
lack of sleep, all kinds
it.
of
Yeah.
Stress,
stress,
basically, and
which
stress is the number one killer
causes
for,
heart attack,
especially for the African
str-
American community.
strokes, heart
For
attacks.
the
That's right.
yeah,
Yes,
That's right.
stress will
That's right.
kill you literally.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
That's exactly
that
right. I
I
have two
really
cousins that died
see
from that, from
from
stress of
stress.
see
all that they had to go through.
see
And
see, and
one had a heart attack,
it's
one had
Yeah, I
wow.
a
lost people
stroke.
from the heart attack, and that's what made me
Yeah.
join more into the holistic health and wellness
And they were
movement.
young.
And
That's the
trying to,
sad
Yes,
part about it.
I will
because a
definitely.
lot of them are young, they're
Yes,
dying
Yeah.
young and
there's
younger.
yes, and it's because they just don't know. So yes, the book talks about making money and how you
Hmm.
don't have it because we are in a recession. You don't People don't have a lot of money these days to just put into a savings account or their
Yeah,
401k. So
Uh,
she gives us tools that we can utilize to be able to deal to help grow your financial state as for with
awesome.
as little as $5. Um,
What's her name again?
I'm going to share that, guys, with you. Her name is Sheila Williams. Sheila, SHEI.
Awesome.
You have an
okay.
LA at She
Uh-huh.
Wins Book. This is what you want to find. She Wins
She wins bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay,
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
that's what's
And
up.
and then
Now,
David, you'll probably he's and then the
oh
other
yeah,
person I would highly recommend is having
yes.
Ticia Richardson, the nurse practitioner, which she has the holistic medicine practice.
Was it T
So
what?
Ticia is TEEISA. And I wanted to say it in the recording because I know you can go back to it and refer.
Right.
Ticia
Exactly.
Richardson.
Richard.
Richardson.
I love that.
Awesome. We sell a CRM software.
Oh no,
Digital
I
Sphere
didn't know.
Consulting. This is our company.
Ah, I did not know
And
you guys had a CI.
right,
Oops,
I thought you
forget
were aware of
Optima
that.
Funnels. Let's delete that.
Yeah,
Delete that.
let's get that stuff you were talking about out of there.
Delete
Uh,
Optima Funnels. Delete Optima Funnels.
I like that sound effect, Keisha. But I
Stick
think I
with your
have to
day job,
rephrase
Keisha.
the way I asked that question. Because I actually let you run with that. But yeah, we have a CRM that
Okay.
does pretty much, it has over 400 features, and it basically handles all business operations, including social media. It has a lot of automations built in, AI you mentioned. A lot of that is built into this. And yeah, so
Okay.
it's probably,
Mass email marketing,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
ways to funnels as
yeah.
well.
How much
And
is it?
Activate
courses, you can
funnels.
build that to get
Ours is actually
comparable.
yes,
It is.
it's
95
cheaper
a month
than
Oh,
that
no, it's
one that
for
you
the
less.
just
base.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
So when you said it, I was like,
yeah.
how much? Because I
Yeah,
wanted to
it's
see.
99. Yep, and it does
Yeah.
Yeah,
everything that
okay,
yours does.
cool.
Okay. So we could
Hmm.
definitely talk.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
And
what we
do
do.
you guys integrate where to make the transition easy
We do
so that
Oh,
everything.
yeah, we
you
absolutely
don't
do.
have to go through it. You know how hard it is when you integrate
We
to a new
do.
system. Oh my
Even
gosh.
some
Yes,
people,
we
they might
totally
even
do.
have courses that they might have done. Some
Right,
CRMs actually have courses built in
right.
where they're able,
Mhm.
like what you said earlier, to
Yeah.
teach and have
Mhm.
lessons. Well,
Mhm.
if a person did, they were able to even transfer that
That's what
over
yeah.
to our CRM as well. And we help
Exactly.
to do the process. We even, walk people through and teach them how to be able to use their CRM, not just
That's
give them the
And what about your
functionality,
important.
help
but give them the
desk?
keys
What
too.
about your help desk? How robust
Yes.
is the help desk?
Oh, it's
Yeah, we have a
robust enough where
team
you're gonna
of,
get your help.
Is it
We
24
have a
set?
team.
Is it
we
We
have
have
a
a
24/7?
team.
team.
So we have looked at two
Ticket
different
system
options.
Okay.
We
for
are
now.
looking at the 24/7 support
Yeah,
because we do have that option as well. And then we have another one where they're like, okay, well, it won't be a full all day, every night, all night, but they will still be there most of the day, most of the time. So
Okay.
we are still kind of like tinkering with those two.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Cool.
But
Well,
at the
we
end of the
definitely can talk.
day, you will still have that support. And not only that, will still have access to us too, because we are also like thinking about coming in probably once a week. We'll have like a FAQ where if people have like
A
questions or
workshop.
things that they need help with, we can all just, get on our Zoom and we could talk about it. We can do walkthroughs and,
Okay.
And we have
play by
product
play
videos to
by
show
play.
you
Okay. Well, let's
how
talk
all
more
of
about
the
that
features work. Yeah.
offline
Uh-huh.
then.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
what's the name of the technology? The CRM?
Digital Sphere Consulting. If you go to that website, you'll see our funnel promoting the software. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think you can go off of us on camera right now. 'Cause I think it's backwards.
Yeah,
No, mine
and I
is.
actually
No,
have a
you can
hard
No,
read it.
stop.
yours isn't. I think mine's is. Hold
Oh,
on.
no,
I
no,
have a hard
interesting.
stop because I have to get ready for a video shoot
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So, yeah,
So,
we'll talk.
Okay. Yeah, we
Thank
but
you
can.
for
yeah,
your time. It's
definitely,
awesome.
I'm gonna do my research over the holiday weekend. It's a long
Okay.
weekend, but that means nothing to us business
Yes, it
owners.
is.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
right.
realized that Monday was a
Exactly.
holiday. I'm like, what? I was like, man, we be so busy, so
We're
gone.
going
It
to be
don't even be
working during that
mattering. We
holiday.
I'm
always
closed,
still
but see,
doing stuff
I'm
anyway.
closed. My brick and mortar is closed, so I'm gonna be taking
It's definitely
advantage.
closing.
I know
Yeah,
that's
I'll be
right.
doing in office stuff, billing, and all that kind
Yeah.
of crap.
Yeah.
So,
I love
um,
it. I
It's catch
love
up
it.
time.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and let
All
you go because I know you
right.
gotta go, girl. I know you gotta
All
go.
right.
So
Thanks,
everybody,
Doc.
yes,
that's a wrap for
we'll be.
this week's
That's a wrap.
episode of Growth
Let's.
Mindset with Mike and Keisha. We hope you found today's conversation as inspiring and insightful as we did.
Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Every step you take gets us closer to your goals. If you
Yes,
enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review.
please
It really
do.
helps us to reach more entrepreneurs like you.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on our social medias for more tips and updates. The link is in everything. Okay, so you're gonna see everybody's link. So make
And
sure you
like
check it
and
out.
share. Like and
Yes,
share.
That's
yes.
right. So,
DigitalSphereConsulting.com. We're on Facebook, we're on IG. And for those who don't know, they're not, with that lingo, Instagram. Okay. We're on
so
LinkedIn, I
join us next
said,
week.
Facebook, everything.
Right.
So join us next week for another deep dive into the world of entrepreneurship. Until then, keep growing and keep pushing forward.
Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
No,
All
thank
right.
you,
Have a great
Dawn.
one.
We appreciate you.
I will
Bye,
definitely be doing my
Take
homework.
care.
everybody.
Bye bye.
Yeah, we done did that thing. We'll see you guys on the next episode. See y'all on the other side.